everyone, welcome to my channel. This reading is going to be for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I love this Emperor card. I feel like this is just talking about some major developments, potentially both personally and professionally for you. I just feel like this leveling up kind of energy. For a lot of you, I feel like, especially work-wise, you might be involved in like a communication field, or maybe that's something new that you're going to be starting this year. I see this energy of like school or like learning something as well. You could be in the midst of that, or again, that could be something new that you're starting. There might, you might have received some sort of loan or sort of gift to pursue this thing, or again, it was sort of like an idea or a spark of inspiration, maybe that just sort of came from within, or perhaps this came through someone else's encouragement or conversation with someone else. I'm also getting that, like, whatever it is, okay, again, whether it's like going back to school, whether it's something communication related, a new sort of especially creative project I'm picking up on that you may be working on, I do feel like it's tied to like a stream of income, okay, whether it's like a one-time thing or if it's a more sort of ongoing thing, okay? So this is your year ahead. I don't think I said that. We're using the Cosmic Tarot, and then we'll clarify, and then we'll get some Oracle card guidance for you. Look at that, the Sun card. I do feel like you could be dealing with a fire sign, and as I was shuffling and looking at that first card there, that like Prince of Swords and that Ace of Pentacles, I did feel a fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Could also be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Could be, you or someone else who also inhabits both of those energies, right? Let me move this a little bit. The Buddha. I got a Buddha recently. Definitely for a lot of you could be changes that are happening around work. I'm sensing a little bit of indecision around you, or whether that's someone else, okay? For some of you, it's like I'm kind of getting two different things, which has not been uncommon in these readings, which is like I'm seeing a personal storyline and then I'm seeing a work storyline. Okay, so let's get into it. 5 of Wands is the card that you have coming up in January. So you might be in a bit of conflict. Could be internal conflict, could be conflict with someone else. Again, possibly someone that you are connecting with. Again, possibly a fire energy in particular. Okay, but I just feel like I'm almost getting this energy of like, especially if we're talking about a personal connection, because that's really more so where I'm picking this up on. And again, I'm picking up on sort of two storylines, but it almost feels like there's so much passion, okay? And I don't know why my dog is growling. So much passion and like sort of attraction, like chemistry in the connection, okay? But I do wonder, it does feel like maybe someone's thinking about like, is this someone that they sort of have romantic feelings for, right? Or, sometimes we have platonic love for people, or it feels more of like a familial kind of relationship, or, we do love them, but we don't necessarily see them being that lifelong partner, right? And it does seem like you're kind of in that mind space, like the direction that you want to go towards and build, again, not just professionally, but personally as well. And especially if you're with someone right now, it may be that you're sort of thinking, is this the person for me? Okay. And that seems to be coming up quite strongly for you in the month of January. In February, you have the Sun card. So it's interesting because, some of you, I'm using this like mostly joking. If you really are this, please don't take offense. But I just got like a very bipolar energy. It's like one day it's like this, and then the next day it's like everything's great, right? And again, this could be you. This could be in terms of someone that you're connecting with. Again, especially a fire sign, Leo here with the Sun card, right? In particular, but could be Aries or Sagittarius as well. Or, so it could be the person that you're connecting with too. Or it could just be, again, sort of like the situation. I am also getting like, I do plan to, I think I'm going to start doing like the new moon and full moon readings live, whether I do them live here or on Instagram. I'm not really sure. I might still do them live on Instagram and then still post the recording over here to YouTube. Probably I'll stick with that, actually. But I'm just getting something about the new moon, okay? So we do have a new moon coming up, I believe like early next week. Don't quote me on that. Or this could be talking about the new moon in February, right? Because you have the sun card. For others of you too, I am getting that maybe this could be like, honestly, this could be completely outside of the connection. I feel like this could be potentially maybe another development, right? That's happening in another personal connection, maybe something in your, your family life. Because I'm picking up on like the energy of like a baby or a child. Again, I'm feeling like a fire energy though, but it could be a separate one. Okay. Again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. In March, you have more fire energy. So lots of fire energy, like I said, coming up in this reading. Queen of Wands reverse. Now, this may be talking about someone that you're dealing with. And again, I'm getting this like dichotomy between like, things are, I don't want to say bad, but like, things are rocky, things are good. And then now things feel rocky again in March. And again, this could be in terms of the connection. This could be in terms of you and your own energy and how you're feeling. And it may just be sort of very up and down for the first few months of the year. Could also be, again, talking about a fire energy that you're connecting with here. Okay. I'm just getting like this feeling of sort of like feeling low energy. Maybe not necessarily feeling productive. It could be that for someone here, it's like their looks sort of feel challenging. Like I'm getting like maybe even, because especially we have this Queen of Cups coming up a little bit later. Could be someone who's maybe dealing with like a bit of depression here, right? And how you feel on the inside, like reflects how you feel on the outside. That's what I'm feeling here. Okay. So just pay attention to that again, whether that's you, whether that's someone that you're connecting with. In April, a little bit more of the same. We have the Ace of Wands here. So for some of you too, I want to go back to the storyline about work, because I do feel like this could be talking about shifting sort of dynamics within work. It almost feels like maybe you've sort of reached a certain level of, a certain goal or like a certain level of success. It's like, again, there's like, it's either very up and down or there's sort of like moderate kind of happiness. And I do feel like either you or again, someone around you may be deciding to like change things, maybe even like leaving a work situation, right? And moving on into something new. In terms of a personal connection, this can again sort of just be, I'm just seeing like a waning kind of energy, like if the sort of passion and the chemistry was the thing that sort of sustained it, that those aspects are important as well. But obviously there are a lot of other, sort of ingredients that go into, successful, long-term fruitful relationships. And I feel like, especially like, think of like, almost like if there's strictly like physical attraction, right? That sort of like, especially like as we age, right? As our, physical appearance changes, not suggesting that that's happening in the span of a few months, but who knows, right? Sometimes certain situations sort of age people more than others, right? But I'm just feeling like this sort of, that passion sort of might be draining. Again, it does feel like there's a lot of like love in the connection, but whether it's enough to sort of sustain the long term is the question that I'm sort of getting here. In May, you have the Seven of Swords reversed. And I just feel like this energy, this can probably be like at least one of the cards that we clarify here. Because what I'm getting here is that I'm again sort of getting this like disconnecting or walking away kind of energy. Again, whether it's with regard to work, whether it's with regard to a connection. I'm also getting that it's like a very kind of intuitively led decision. Like on the surface, it may not really make sense to a lot of people around you. Again, especially if you seem to be leaving like a, successful work environment, or even what other people might perceive to sort of be a successful relationship, right? But only the two people or whoever are involved really know like the deep ins and outs, right? Everyone else is really just sort of an observer. They're not a participant of the relationship, or at least they shouldn't be. I'm again connecting with moon energy here. And it's interesting because it's like 3 months down the line since February when I saw that new moon energy, and then I'm seeing a full moon energy. So maybe it's like stuff that sort of starts to take place and that really sort of comes to fruition, comes to culmination, by like that, you know, early spring period, May, right? In June, you have the Three of Pentacles. So the word that I'm sort of getting off of this card is options. Particularly, it feels like related to that work narrative, right? So you may be thinking about what are your options work-wise? What do you sort of want to work on? Type of work, type of projects, type of people perhaps that you want to work with and collaborate, because you can see a few people here on this card. I feel like for some of you, you could also be sort of making changes around the home. For some of you, that might be tied to a move, whether that's something that you've already done recently or something that's coming up. We're not seeing moving cards specifically, but I am sort of getting that energy from this card, especially because I'm just sort of seeing like this rebuilding or like sort of renovative kind of energy. The other thing, right, in terms of like personal connections, I do feel like you might sort of be exploring your options, okay? And we're looking at like early summertime here, right, for the month of June. So in July, you have the Queen of Cups reversed. And remember, I referenced this a little bit earlier when we were talking about the Queen of Wands. I do feel like, again, for a lot of you, this could be talking about, again, this year may sort of be a series of trials and tribulations in a particularly important connection in your life, right? Because when we see the cups, we know that it's talking about the heart space. Again, you may be connecting with a water energy, a Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio, or the person that you're connecting with may have this energy, or it's just talking about, again, that this is a, you know, connection that sort of speaks to the heart space. But again, with this card in the reverse, I'm feeling like it just feels a little bit like, you know, the romantic love. I don't want to say the love. The romantic love seems to be diminishing or dying, right? And we have the Death card coming up a little bit later. That being said, it feels like, you know, either one, right, which is a little bit more problematic, or both, right, which is really what you want. But I do feel this energy of like trying to make it work, right? But it does feel like a battle, okay? In August, you have the 10 of Wands reverse, right? So with this card, as well as with the Death card, what I'm seeing, it's like, again, and that's why I was saying, it's like, it feels like someone's really sort of battling against allowing this to go, or again, trying to like really work hard to make it work, right? But this 10 of Wands can be talking about, you know, like just sort of being overburdened, right? And again, for some of you, this is talking about the, you know, these ups and downs or whatever it is, you know, it may be talking about here in this personal connection. For others of you, this could be talking about, again, like a work situation, right? And that may be why you're sort of looking to, you know, get into a new work environment, or just sort of change what it is that you're doing, or like sort of where your focus is. I'm really getting this energy of like paring down and prioritizing. So again, I feel like it's both professionally but also personally. In September, you have the Four of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so we know that fours speak to, you know, foundations. We know that, I'm sorry, my dog's like trying to cause mischief over here. We know that fours speak to foundations, right? Again, whether we're talking about sort of a home and like a family sort of dynamic and foundation, and or whether we're talking about work here, right? So again, I'm sort of seeing like, it almost feels like we don't have the Tower card out here, right? But similarly to the Death card, because both the Tower and the Death card can represent Scorpio, right? So I'm almost getting like a Tower moment seems to be playing out over the course of the year, right? And we know that Towers come in to wipe away faulty foundations, right? Foundations that are not solid, so that we can rebuild, right? So that we can have a solid and stable foundation here. So again, very strongly getting this this energy of disconnecting. For some of you, I do also feel like this could be talking about changes in the home. I'm not sure why, but it feels like you could be, I'm almost getting this energy of like returning to something of the past. So maybe if it's like moving back to a place that you've lived before, moving like back to sort of a childhood home, because I'm just getting this energy of like, you know, something you're already familiar with, or there's like sort of like an older sort of energy, right? So you could be like moving back in with your parents, right? It feels temporary, but it could be a possibility, okay? And again, that's September. In October, you have the Two of Pentacles reverse, right? So I get this really strong energy, either again off you, Virgo, or, you know, someone that you're connecting with, or, you know, it's just situational. But again, it's like this hugely back and forth kind of energy. It almost feels like you see this boat in the background, and it says if the boat is like very topsy-turvy. So again, the year might sort of feel like, you know, again, sort of a one prolonged tower moment or a series of tower moments. And the best sort of advice that I can impart to you, you know, if this is resonating or if this will resonate, is really work on grounding yourself, right? What are the sort of the things that you need that are foundational to your sort of calmness, remaining centered, remaining grounded, to your peace of mind, right? Because that's going to play into your sort of decision-making ability, right? With this Two of Pentacles reverse, I'm just getting like, you know, someone who is very two minds of something, again, whether it's you, whether it's someone that you're connecting with, a lot of sort of indecision, like not really being able to decide what to choose or what direction to go in, which can be very, it can be very paralyzing, right? So, okay. In November, you have, and that's interesting because this November is Scorpio season, right? Which is all about the sort of season of transformation and change. And by the way, it does feel like, you know, finally by the end of the year, it's like things start to become clear and resolve themselves, right? So again, you could be connecting with a water energy. Specifically, we've been talking about Scorpio, or we know that Scorpio with this death energy is talking about all about change and transformation, endings and new beginnings, right? Again, with the 10 of Wands and the death card reverse, it does feel like there's, it's either like one of two things, right? And it could be both, actually. It could be like a very strong, like soul tie, like soulmate connection, right? In which case this might sort of be a karmic connection or relationship, right? Because sometimes, again, those can be very passionate and hard to sort of let go, but not necessarily meant to be the lifelong partner, right? And or it's like someone's really sort of fighting against it, right? And that and if so, that's, it seems to be because, you know, a lot of their happiness, right, their heart, their feelings or emotions seem to maybe be tied up into the situation, which, as I said that, like, it reminded me a little bit of devilish energy, right? That maybe there's a bit of a codependent dynamic that is going on or that has sort of developed. Okay, your final card in September, I was going to say Sagittarius season, but in December is the Six of Cups, right? So I'm getting two things off of this card again. One, I'm getting that, again, it's like almost like despite sort of the ups and downs, again, despite sort of the towers or trials, tribulations, however it is that you want to describe this. And again, it feels like this could be happening in your personal life as well as in your professional life. It's like by the end of the year, you sort of come to realize that, you know, love is central and foundational, right? And it can, like, especially when you're in a process of healing, it can take a long time to sort of get to that point, right? And not to allow maybe like lower vibrational energies to override, right? Or to sort of, I got the word infect, right? Infect like your mind space. The other thing too is that I feel like as whatever it is that's being let go, again, whether it's in terms of work, whether it's in terms of a personal connection, it seems to open the door to something or someone else that's meant to be there. Okay, possibly a water sign. Okay, again, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, just with the cups here, definitely does not have to be, but I am picking up on, again, sort of like a past sort of life connection. Okay, a past life soulmate, something that you like resonated with or did perhaps in a past life, if we're talking about, you know, your work specifically. All right, let's get some clarifiers. I just saw the Six of Swords. Okay, so again, for some of you, you could definitely be traveling or relocating. Six of Swords can also talk about metaphorically moving from choppy to calm waters, right? And we see those choppy waters coming up in the month of January with that Five of Wands. So let's clarify the Queen of Wands reverse. You have the Death card, okay, coming up here. So I do feel like, again, you know, possibly some type of ending with a with a fire sign, again, an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius, or the beginning of the end, shall we say. You know, whether this is initiated by you or by them, or, you know, just sort of circumstantial. I'm again picking up on Scorpio energy. So I do wonder, like, is this like sort of a water energy coming in? Okay, with the Ace of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords coming in here. So whenever we see the Ace of Swords, right, Ace of Swords sort of talks about feeling stuck or stagnant, feeling like there's no movement in a connection or in a situation or in an environment, right? Because again, for some of you, this could be talking about work. For some of you, this could be talking about a personal connection. So, yeah, but I'm just still getting this energy and seeing this story of like, it's like someone's trying to stop this death moment from coming in, but it, like, if it is stopped or delayed, whatever, it's like, again, it just sort of go, it's like round and round we go, right? It's like we're going back into sort of the same kind of dynamic here. Okay, let's clarify the Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups reverse, you have the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands, okay? Super interesting there, because if you see, right, you have a choice to make, right? And notice that the Ace of Wands reverse is here. So I do feel like this is about making a new choice or a decision. And it does feel like maybe there's a new person, or again, something new here that really starts to pique or like spark your interest. For the Ten of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. So again, this is talking about, right, notice how you have two twos here, definitely talking about needing to make a decision. I'm being drawn again to the crescent new moon symbol there. So this may be about sort of setting intentions related to the new moon, maybe in terms of getting clarity, paying attention, and trusting your intuition. There is a message here again about making a decision, but it's also saying to go slow, right? With this Ace of Wands here, it could be that, you know, sometimes, especially if there's something new and exciting, you know, we might sort of try to, like, it's almost like going too quickly, you know, and this is saying like hold back, like take things slowly. Again, it's for the purposes of building a long lasting and strong foundation. Clarify the Four of Pentacles reverse. So for the Four of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords. Again, this is about really following and trusting your intuition, your inner knowing, your inner truth, right? And I do feel like for a lot of you, part of what that is, right, part of how you use this sword is that there are things, there are, you know, situations that you're meant to let go of here. Clarify the Two of Pentacles reverse. So with the Two of Pentacles reverse, right, notice you have the Judgment card. You have two major arcana cards and the Sun card showing up again. So I like that the Sun card is showing up in your reading, because it's saying like, this is like, you know, the metaphorical light at the end of the tunnel, but this is a very bright, happy, joyous light, right? And so this is saying that as soon as you sort of make this decision, right? And that's what I was sort of feeling, especially towards the end of the year, as I was talking about it earlier, is that as soon as you sort of decide, right? As soon as you allow whatever these cycles are that need to come to a close here, right? As soon as you make that judgment, right? It's celebrated by the universe, and you seem to almost get some type of like reward, okay? And finally, let's clarify the Death card, and then we'll go into your Oracle guidance, Virgos. Okay, so for the Death, we got 3 cards. I normally wouldn't take 3, but let's do it. So for the Death card, you have the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Hanged Man. Okay, so again, with this Four of Pentacles, it has a similar connotation for me with that Knight of Pentacles in terms of going slow to build whatever this new foundation is. Eight of Wands, again, talks about paying attention to your intuition. I am also getting, you know, again, possibly travel or relocation changes happening around the home. Wands, the Eight of Wands can also be talking about sort of a lot of messages, whether again, it's sort of like spiritual messages and downloads, signs, symbols, synchronicities, that kind of thing, or whether it's like literal messages, you know, because again, it's like, I feel like as you close out options, it's like more options sort of spring up. Okay, so paying attention to that, because that's what I'm seeing, is that like there's a lot of sort of not necessarily new, but there's a lot of sort of like communication or almost what feels like excitement around new developments. Okay. And then you have the hangman here, right? So that's what I was sort of talking about earlier, that making sure to sort of get that grounding, making sure this is possibly even like sort of spending time alone, right? So that you can really introspect and reflect is going to be super important for you here throughout this year. Okay. All right, let's do your oracle cards. We're going to do a numerology guidance card. I just saw parenting, right? And on both of those sun cards, I do see babies on that card. So, you know, could be you, could be someone, someone you're connecting with. I did just see teaching and learning as well. And again, for some of you, I do feel like you could be learning or studying something new, possibly going back to school. The card you got is the number 81, leadership. We're going to read for this card and then we'll get one more and close out the reading. So leadership, this card indicates a time to lovingly lead and guide others who are less capable than you are. This may apply to your workplace, community, family, or circle of friends. By drawing this card, you are being encouraged to have confidence in your ability to motivate and inspire those who accompany you on your path. This card also indicates a role as a leader in your field. You may choose to rise to the top of your game with your unique talents or to lovingly lead others to new and improved ways of life. Either way, it is time to step up to the plate and adopt a position of authority, for you have a natural ability to lead. The affirmation here says, I lead others and in turn serve a higher purpose. And remember, right at the beginning of the reading, we did see that Emperor card, right? Which can definitely speak to that energy of sort of stepping up into a leadership role. For your final card, we're going to get a Spirit Animal Oracle. This deck is by Colette Baron Reed. I love this deck. It was gifted to me. I think maybe I should add my Amazon wish list. In addition to donations, I guess that would be a nice way to support this channel and work, right? I do share it in my newsletter sometimes. So to that point, of course, if this reading resonated, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted when I post new readings. I was super behind on getting these done. I think my energy has just been so up and down myself for the past month, but just like I've been so tired. So I've been needing a lot of rest, but I'm trying to get back on track. A rebirth is assured. Number 5, right? 5s speak to changes. And of course, rebirth, right? That is the judgment energy. Rebirth necessarily is preceded by death, right? So number 5, bat spirit, a rebirth is assured. So the oracle message, it says, after something has run its course and died, right? What have we been talking about? Or been released, furnished, surrendered, completed, or ended, there is a promise of a new beginning. Rebirth is assured just as night gives way to dawn and the bat emerges from the darkness of a womb-like cave. Bat Spirit has come to remind you that this rebirth is a miraculous one, for the very best elements of what you had to give up and the death of the old are still present in this new amazing life forming now. This is the miracle and magic of rebirth in every aspect of your life, including the rebirth of faith in your ability to establish new and healthy relationships. Bat Spirit reminds you that at present you are in unknown territory and you may feel as if you are lost. However, you are called to trust that your intuition will be a reliable guide as you give birth to something new and unfamiliar. Bat Spirit has listened in the darkness of night and has heard all of your hopes and dreams, your fears and worries, and assures you that this new version of your dream, this move from darkness into light, from lost to found, and death to rebirth, comes to fruition with love at its core. Bat Spirit asks you to trust that what seems to have died is actually shape-shifting into something even more meaningful and wondrous than before. If you feel you are in the dark, know that come morning all will be revealed and things will be in a new form that is right for you. The protection message says, what are you refusing to let die? Bat Spirit is gently nudging you to let go of your need to cling to the familiar story that has already run its course. A new story is poised to be born. Some dreams were only meant to last for a moment in time. Sometimes they were only there to slow you down as you recalibrated in preparation for the new life that will give you what you really want. Perhaps you need to grieve as you say goodbye to something. At least you're saying goodbye to its familiar form. Perhaps you must let go of a part of you that must die so you can be reborn. This temporary time in the dark doesn't have to be scary or sad, though. Bat Spirit gives you her powers of perception and awareness as you learn to listen deeply and navigate these unknown caves of temporary emptiness. You will emerge with a new perspective, and Bat Spirit will witness your giving birth to the life that matches the intentions and desires of your heart and soul. Wow. Okay. I mean, if that's not clear cut, I don't know what is. So Virgos, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this reading helps and resonated. Again, if it does, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so through my website. Give me a follow over on social media, subscribe to the newsletter, all that good stuff. In any case, again, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in your next reading. Take care. Bye.